Okay, in this tutorial we're going to explore basic breakdowns and playback of videos online. Just a reminder that you probably want to watch this in high def and probably full screen mode. Okay, in case you haven't logged in, let's log in. Okay, we've just uploaded a game, and this game is the second game, Lake Washington. Okay, here's the basic layout of the screen when you're using Play Search. This area up here is where the videos are played. This area over here is where you choose the game you want to watch. Right now there's only one game to watch. This area right here is where all the plays are. So you see here there are 159 clips. Not all of them are plays because some of them are scoreboards and some of them are probably timeouts and penalties and that sort of thing. I guess just a couple navigational things here is you can move the frames around to move things up and down. Sometimes you do this when you're projecting, and this makes it easier to hit the projector or hit the screen, but normally you don't do anything like that. So, okay, so what we've got here is the plays, and this was uploaded in the earlier step, and now what we're doing is the basic breakdown. So this V stands for view, and that is what pulls up the play for this particular play of the video. The type describes what type of play it is. Either it's an offensive run play, or it's an offensive pass play, or it's a defensive run play, or defensive pass play, or a kick. See, there's a drop down for that. This area here is where probably in the next tutorial we'll talk about how you name the plays to make the best use of them. Up here is how you will sort the plays with the basic sorts, and this is the more complex sorts are here, and we'll talk about that later as well. This is also a way that you can view the plays. So this V and this view are the same. It's just that I'm lazy and don't like to swing the mouse around, so when I'm doing the breakdown I just do this. So we click V here, that comes the first play, and I notice that that's a kick. So I just call that a kick. I don't even watch the play. And I go to the next play. We are white, so we're on defense. Here we go. And it's a defense, we're on defense against the run. Okay. We're still on defense. And it's another run. So you can see at this point you don't even watch them, you're just quickly going through to break it down. We're on defense this time, and they're passing. And looks like they're back here to kick. Now we should be on offense, which we are. And it's an offensive run. And it's an offensive pass. Okay, I'm going to take a break here, and rather than do all 150 plays in front of me here, I'm going to stop it and finish this thing up, then come back. I should note also that the quality of video that you're seeing on this tutorial is not as good as the actual video, because this is a screen capture program that I'm trying, but I am surprised at how good it does it, and that is a great hit. Also, you see there's two angles here. Likely what you're looking at for your team right now is just one angle. The dual angle sync mode, where they're synced up, is a little tricky, let's just put it that way. So when I get that ready for general availability, so it's easy to do, that'll be available too. I guess the one of the things I should show here while we're at it is by clicking on the video, you can. Right now I'm using the arrow keys to go a step at a time. Firefox allows this. Either Firefox or IE, you can drag the play any way you want. So you can see that great hit. You can see it over and over again. Alright, well, let me take a time out here and go rename all the plays. Or not rename them, but break them down. Okay, so I've got all the plays broke down. Basically, I just went through all the plays very quickly, just watching the start of the plays, and went through and broke them down. So there was 159 clips. Not all of them were plays. For example, if I recall, this must be the scoreboard. So that's a scoreboard, so that's, you know, designated as a non-play. Another non-play. Sometimes it happens. Okay, so let's get off that. We'll go back up here. So now what you can do, once the plays are broke down, you can sort on them. Now the good thing about having these things broke down initially is you notice we haven't added any text to describe them. And you know, sometimes youth leagues, this part over here is just good enough. You'll put some things here, of course, but as far as additional breakdown, it's not always done. But what is good is by hitting offense, as an example, what that does is it shows all the offensive plays first in the order that they were played. So the first offensive play was a run, then there was a pass, run, so on and so forth. And it gets through all those, and then it goes on to your defense, and it shows all those defensive plays. So you can see here, when you get around to naming them, if you have somebody that does the breakdown, and then multiple coaches can log in at the very same time and start describing the plays. But we'll do that a little bit later, probably in a different tutorial. So let's just do some more sorting. So right here I sorted by the run, by offense, run or rushes, then passes. Okay, so here's all the runs first. Here's the pass plays, and then below is just the defense, again in the order that it was played. You can do the same thing. You want to see all the passes first. It's just that fast. You want to see all the defense first. You do that, and you get all the defense. Want to see all the defense against the run, then you do that, and just like the previous example where the run, defense against the rush and defense against the passes are listed out, then all the offensive and then the special teams and all the junk below that you never bother really to look at. Okay, I guess for completeness here, here's defense against the pass, and then the run, and then just want to look at special teams. You can do that. So let's go up here and let's decide to view this play. Now there's a couple ways. So here's the first kick. We're looking at kicks here. I just picked, so I'm a special teams coach. I want to start looking at just kicks. So I can go through here. I can, as I say, you can go through here and look at every frame of the play. And then if you want to go to the next play, of course, you could go down here and hit view for the next play. But as I've already mentioned, I'm kind of lazy with the mouse, so really all I want to do is hit next. And so that brings up the next play, which was the fifth play, and that was the punt. And so you can, if you want to go to the previous, you can go to the previous, you go to the next, and so forth. So that's a quick way to go through, watch the plays, and analyze them, and learn from them. So let's see, I guess I'll show another capability here. So my favorite, our first pass play here, since we used it before. So another thing you can do here, let's show this. Normally, like I said, you're going to have just one camera angle, and for whatever reason, let's decide that we want to pull this down here, and I want to make it bigger. Again, you might do this if you're projecting. Typically you don't actually, because you can just tilt the camera where you want and have the picture as big as you want, and still leave this stuff on the screen so that you can see the plays that are upcoming. But I don't know how it shows on the tutorial, but the quality of the pictures stays pretty good, very good actually. And again, it depends on the quality of the camera. These particular photos or videos were taken with a Canon GL2 camera, which has what's called a frame mode. And a frame mode, it has to do with some technical stuff about interlacing and so forth. And if you have the option, always take sports videos and things like this in a frame mode. Basically what it does is it gets rid of the jaggies. If you have used your camera without it, when you stop things you see little motion artifacts. So anyway, that's that. I think that's probably good enough for our first tutorial on the playback and breakdown. The next thing we'll do is look at creative ways to name plays so that you can do some further sorting using the play search capabilities. Alright, this is an addendum to the play search usage tutorials, and I need to tag this onto the first one simply because I've modified slightly the use of one of the buttons, and so to avoid confusion I at least need to describe it here. So what this is I've got several coaches that actually have dual monitors, and Coach Carl from Southwestern Washington asked me if I couldn't make the video screen pop up so that it could be moved to another window. So that's what this does. So let's go ahead and take a look at a game here. Okay, so right off the bat, what now happens, the only change I made is that these buttons here with the V, instead of popping up a window here, they pop up a pop-up window. So let's go ahead and pop up a window. So I can go up here. And so you can go through here and do the same sorts of things. Now of course, since this window is on top, when I go here it's going to disappear, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, so you come up here and you bring it back up. So any time that you click the V button, it brings up this pop-up. Now typically what would happen here, just to give you a sense of why this is useful, you can take this and move it off to your other monitor, and then what you can do is make this bigger. In fact, you can go like this and make it real big. Get that all the way up there, and this is now off on the other monitor, so that you can, so what happens is as you click anything over here, it'll pop up on that monitor. So yeah, that's useful and that's nice because it gives you more real estate. But there's some other things that you can do with this. For example, you can go through here, and if you choose to, you can pick offense here, and this runs the offense, right? So if you want to, you can start the offense in this pop-up, move it around, and you can do that. Not exactly sure why you'd want to do this, but you can go like that and get that thing going there. Then you can, if I can grab this down here, I could then say defense. Now I got the defense. I come up here with the regular view here, and there we go. There's the defense. So basically I'm watching two aspects of the game at the same time. So I can continue to go through this, and this continues to scroll down through the offensive plays, and this one over here will scroll down through the defensive plays. Now perhaps a more useful use of this would be to do something like this. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Let's say that what I wanted to do is, let's say I had a couple of examples of the same play, one that was run well and one that wasn't. So I can come up here, and this stuff I'm showing here, if you're watching the first tutorial, this is actually covered in the second tutorial. Sorry about that. So that brings up a couple plays here. So I could take this one, bring it up in that window. I could take this one, so that these are the same plays, and assuming that one was a good play and one was a not so good play, you could actually show, say, hey guys, this is when you did it right, here's the difference, and up here is where it wasn't right, or vice versa. In fact, I guess just for completeness here, if you want to go really crazy here, you can go something like this. We got here this full game here. We pop it up in the pop-up. If I want to, I'm not sure why you'd want to do this, but you could go here, bring up a whole second different game. You can now, if you care to, you can watch two games at the same time. So, in summary here, this really probably has its most use if you have dual monitors, because probably what you do in that case, you drag this over to the other monitor, you'd take it up here, and you would do something like this to make it fill that whole monitor. So you could move that over, stop that, drag that up there, and you got a lot more real estate, and so hopefully it's got some use. Okay, well that's just something I wanted to show so there wouldn't be any confusion about what happens when you click the video over here.